Welcome to the Home Services Home Show, where you learn a lot that you need to know.
And a whole lot you don't.
Welcome back, Joshua.
It's been a little vacation. Not quite a vacation, but it's been a little bit since I've been on.
We had to call in the replacements.
He was getting really good at it. I almost lost my job.
You
You
did.
know what's worse than losing your job? Losing a job you don't get paid for.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That wasn't good.
we don't get paid for this.
No. That whole you get so many viewers and they pay you a lot of money, we're not there.
You got to have more than 3 viewers to get paid.
Goals.
Life goals. So you had a little run-in with a flying specimen.
Yeah, so I had kind of a cool little deal. I've never seen this before. So my wife calls me on Thursday last week and says, "Hey, I got this funny looking bird in my driveway." And I, of course, looked at it and I said, "Honey, that's a pigeon." She goes, "Why? It looks bigger than a pigeon." I'm like, "It's a pigeon." She says, "It's got this blue band on its leg." I'm like, "It's still a pigeon. Leave it alone and it'll fly away." So she leaves it alone and whatever. And I'm out working behind the house on Friday the next day. And I go back and I go behind the house and there's a dead pigeon, really big dead pigeon.
Boots up.
Boots up, spurs up. Yep. He was stuck on his back. So I look at this bird.
Permanent nap.
Yeah, took a nap, tired. So I look at this bird and he's got 2 bands on his leg, a blue one and a green one. That's like the picture here. And so I pulled it up. I'm like, it says AU and it has a number on it.
Let's make sure we show the one that he's alive.
Yeah, first.
Yeah.
So I looked it up. I'm like, well, I wonder what this big pigeon is for. Well, here it's a racing homing pigeon. Didn't know it was a thing, right? So I looked at the band and I found some information. And this lady got back to me, and she is from the American Racing Pigeon Union out of Oklahoma City. So supposedly they have pigeon races where they let them go, and they like Gilligan's Island. I remember when Gilligan was trying to get rescued by homing pigeon? Just kind of like this.
Where do they go?
I don't know. But I know this bird, she just emailed me now as we're sitting here. She said this bird was from Menominee Falls area, and I will advise the owner. Yeah, but it was going somewhere for a race. So I guess she said in her prior email that the bird probably needed water. Well, the bird landed 60 yards from the shoreline. I live on a lake. So if it had flew 60 yards further, it would have had all the water it wanted. But yeah, so kind of a cool homing pigeon racing. I never...
Gonna get it mounted?
Not a bad idea. Although it's been sitting in the back of my UTV since Friday, so it's probably not mountable anymore.
You never know.
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird.
So today, talk about something we've never talked about before.
Correct.
Everybody,
although we should have.
Yeah. So everybody that watches or listens knows that we are experts from the attic up. We're experts in insulation, in ventilation, in roof replacement, in gutter shutter, gutter system. That is our deal.
Mm-hmm.
One thing we've never talked about is roof repair or roof restoration.
Right. I would say roof repair versus roof restore, right? Because it's people know that throughout the life of their roof, they're going to have to do some repair to it, right?
No, people don't know that.
They should. Well, they find out when they have a hole and they have a leak, and you're laying in bed and you hear drip, 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 and the wife gets anxious, and then you're in repair mode.
Fortunately, nowadays, I think most shingle manufacturers have really gotten the recipe down.
Right.
I should say
Better shingles.
Right. Shingles last.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's the other stuff.
The details
that on my radio show that I have. I know, radio show podcast. I'll keep it all.
You're famous.
Stop. I always say you can put the best shingles in the world on a roof, but if you don't do the stuff underneath it or the details, that roof will leak every time, guaranteed.
At some point in its life.
So how many roofs do our representatives go to where they have a leak or multiple leaks, but there's nothing wrong with the shingles?
Correct.
The shingles look perfectly fine.
Right. That would probably go, if you rewind the story back to the beginning, that was probably the really good price on a roof type conversation they got.
Yes. I went with the cheapest person.
Because the shingles were okay, but the shingles aren't what you're paying for. You're paying for the details.
We go out to a roof and there is multiple layers. Well, that's a really cheap way to get new shingles. but you can't redo any of the stuff that keeps your roof
From leaking. Right.
You can't do any roof to wall flashing, any step flashing, sidewall flashing, pipe boot. You can't do any of it.
Nothing, right?
Nothing. So roof restoration or slash versus roof repair.
Yep.
What is it?
Yeah. So at the basic definition, if I look at repair, the dictionary says it's to fix or to mend, right? So the problem is by the time you know that you need a repair done, you have water in your house, right? Or you're really close. You might see shingles blown off.
And nobody's calling for a roof repair unless they've got a leak.
Right. Correct. Or imminent, like it's going to be bad really
Seen
soon.
shingles blow off.
Correct. So the repair definition is to fix or to mend. To restore it means to bring it back or to return it to its former condition.
Correct.
And to your point, the shingles are usually on a roof that will last the longest.
They do.
The pipe boots, the flashing, if a roofer was silly enough to use a caulk as a last line defense, like those are things that go bad first, and that's what we need to restore that roof to its original condition.
So this is something that we both do, and this is why
and we've always done it. But I guess we never really talked about telling people.
This is something that we're really keying on now,
right?
Because I mean, I don't know if you just want to go into the wastefulness of it. I mean, but I think asphalt shingles are the number 2
filler of the landfill.
Filler of landfills, right? So if we don't have to replace a roof, which I mean, back in when we first started, it's just like, well, you have a leak, you need a new roof.
Right.
Not true.
Right.
Not necessarily true. And what we figure a lot of times you can get 50 or 25 to 30% more life out of your roof by just doing a restore.
Right.
So what are we seeing with a roof restore? What does that typically involve?
So typically people will call us and say, hey, I have a leak around one of my pipes. Usually it's a pipe boot, right? It's a metal flange that's got a rubber boot on it that they slide over a PVC pipe. That's usually, I think, one of the biggest culprits, right?
Yeah, they break down.
The sun kind of gets the rubber hard and it cracks, and then water goes in it. Well, if you have one pipe in your house, you probably have 2 or 3.
At least.
Right?
I would say average is probably 3.
Probably.
On every house.
So although one may be leaking, the right answer is not to just put your finger in a hole and plug the one hole, is to, we believe, go to restore it, go back and be proactive and fix all of them.
Yep.
Right. But more than that
99% chance they were all put on at the same time.
Right. And they're all going to fail really quick.
Yes.
But what the key is, I guess, if I back up a second, is to go up there with a mindset of how can I give this homeowner some life back to their roof? And at first, that's to start with a really good inspection, right? If we go up there and inspect and shoot a video and show a homeowner, this are some problem areas that could be problematic in the really near future, that if we fix this, we give your life some more time. And really, that's quite liberating for a lot of people, because a roof is an expensive project. And it's not real sexy, right? Roofing's not sexy. We think it's sexy, but most homeowners don't think roofing's sexy. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Right.
It's not flooring. It's not countertops. It's not a bathroom remodel.
You're not bringing your friends over and have them touch and feel. And
it's not buying a new car.
Nothing like that.
It's not like that.
Right.
So it's extremely necessary.
It's extremely necessary. But your analogy was just perfect, that you would never buy a car and then drive it for 20 years and never change oil, never do any maintenance. That you wouldn't do that, right? You're not going to give yourself life in your car. Same thing with the roof. So that's kind of as we focus on a great inspection, shooting a great video for what people can see up there that they can't see because they don't want to go up there. And then we can give them suggestions. Here's if we fix this, this, and this, we can restore years to your life or your roof, not tear it all off.
That's the question we ask. Even if we're just going out for a gutter shutter estimate, hey, when's the last time someone inspected your roof?
Never.
Nobody gets their roof inspected.
Right.
You just get your roof done and you forget about it.
Wait till it leaks.
But nobody knows they have a problem until, certain customers are pretty good, right? They know it's 20 years. It's about time. But honestly, there's a lot of cases now where shingles are 20 years and there's nothing wrong with them.
No.
But it's the other stuff.
It's the details.
Yep. The cheap pipe boots, they're not made to last longer than that. They have a lifespan. That sun's going to break them down. It's the same analogy as, like, I don't know, set a trailer outside for 10 years and let it sit there. The tires dry rot. They start to crack.
Right. Same thing.
And they go flat.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. Made out of the same stuff.
If there's caulk on a roof, it's going to deteriorate with time.
You ever look up at a house and they've got a brick or stone chimney and there's a whole bunch of blackjack caulking? They had a repair.
New technology is the spray can, the bomb,
Yeah. I actually just saw an
Float the
infomercial. You
screen.
guys see that? The Flex Seal family of like literally they're advertising this Flex Seal stuff now. They have a whole line of products for waterproofing. That's it was actually I just saw it. Like they Flex sealed around the doors and stuff and like showed like they were getting a flood, like a hurricane, and it kept all the water out. And I was like, oh my God.
People will buy it.
Oh, I guarantee you they sold a whole bunch. Wish I would have came up with it.
Correct. we're just ones fixing the.
We're not going to Flex seal the chimney.
Correct.
There's a correct way to do it and a not correct way to do it. I would say the Flex Seal would be a really quick, short-lasting repair.
Correct.
We want to fix it for real.
The right way.
The right way. Right. So, yeah, roof restores. Can also include gutters.
Yes.
We know that if you've got gutters that aren't attached properly, that aren't working properly, that are plugged, they're pushing water and debris back up onto the shingles. They're deteriorating shingles. Water is getting underneath the shingles, can start affecting the wood. Mm-hmm. So it can involve a lot of things. It can involve new ventilation. Right? Ventilation's a big part. I mean, I don't know where we go on this one. So why do we need good ventilation?
To get some of the heat that's trapped in your attic up so your roof's not cooking from the inside out.
Is it really what it does?
Sure does.
Isn't it more for moisture, don't you think?
Could be.
For both.
Mm-hmm.
Heat and moisture. Heat and moisture.
You think about your asphalt shingle has granules on top to protect from heat, right? And sun. Not many shingles are made to protect from the heat from the inside out.
No.
But with heat, there's moisture.
So heat, moisture, getting that out, we see that all the time.
Yep. A lot of times that roofs that fail early will have usually improper ventilation.
Good intake.
Nothing up top.
Nothing up top. Or good ventilation on top with nothing coming in from the bottom. Right. So it all has to work together. So we do a lot of restorations where we're putting a ridge cap on, where we're opening up more soffit ventilation. So normally people wouldn't think of that.
And it's our approach is very scientific and procedurally stringent of, okay, if we do this, this, and this, it's going to help. Correct. Right? We're not reactive. We're trying not to be reactive. If you have a leak, I don't want to I only have two first fingers. So if I put them in two holes, then I'm stuck. Right. Let's not do that.
So that's the one. Okay. So that's the one thing where we're trying not to do is we're really trying not to do a repair.
Correct. It's not what the customer deserves.
You have a leak. We're going to check everything.
Mm-hmm.
How is your ventilation? Okay. So we know you've got a leak from this one pipe boot.
Got to fix it.
But how many do you have? Okay. Well, you've got 3. And how's your ventilation? Not good. Well, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at the chimney flashing. Do they need a cricket?
Right.
There's a whole bunch of stuff that can be done. And once that stuff is done, I mean, who knows how much longer that roof is going to last if it's in good shape already.
Correct.
So
yeah, we're returning to former condition for sure.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah. It's neat. People love us for it. Like it's interesting watching customers' reaction when they think they have a real small problem, but then they realize that with a little bit more work, they can do it the right way and give them more years on their roof.
Right.
They're thankful.
Well, or just going out to somebody's house, they have a leak, they think they need a new roof, and you're like, yeah, no, you don't need a new roof.
Correct.
There's actually nothing wrong with your shingles. We just need to restore some things, get you back to good, and instead of spending, $20,000, you're going to spend $4,000, but you might have 10, 15 more years. Who knows exactly, but
Correct.
I mean, you're going to get a lot more time. So that is truly helping people out.
Yeah. And I truly think that when people call Larson and Keeney and they say, hey, I need help with this, to have an honest opinion that's not necessarily, our goal is not to go there and sell your roof. Our goal is to go out there and help with what you need help with the most, and take an honest approach to it. And if you need to restore, a restore is right. If you need a roof, you need a roof.
Right. Vice versa.
Let's do a fair shake.
Well, there's also sometimes that people are like, hey, we need a repair, and you're like, I mean, if your shingles are 20, 25 years old, probably not
a candidate
time to do it's beyond that.
Correct.
For the most part, not every time,
right.
But for the most part, it's probably time for a new roof.
Yeah, and I think if you keep the honesty and integrity with our staff that's in the field, just take care of people the right way, and it's easy.
That's it. Yeah, if we can restore it, perfect. We don't need to sell you a new roof.
No.
Vice versa.
We'll get there eventually.
Correct.
But then you know who you can trust.
That's it.
That's it.
I mean, roof restore is kind of, I think, becoming a new. I think it will become a big part of our
Sure will be.
business because it's something that's needed, but it's never been something that's focused on.
Right.
It's always been.
At least not at a high level, at a high character, high integrity level.
No. So
That's us.
that's it. Thanks for watching. Join us next time on the Home Services Home Show. We appreciate it.
Catch you next time.